Welcome to Prenatal and Postnatal Yoga and Garb Sanskar, the Science of Creation and Cultivation, uh, by Nutan ma'am. And as students, we are presenting today. Myself, Rini. I'll be presenting the theory part. So our topic is infertility. So infertility refers to the inability to conceive, according to WHO, even after 1 year of regular intercourse without any contraception. But Ayurveda also includes the state of a woman who is unable to carry pregnancy full term. Let us say she conceived, but she is unable to carry the pregnancy and having miscarriages. So it is defined as Vandhyatva in women and as Napunsakatva in male. The reasons for general reasons for infertility are excess use of laptop, age, if your age is above the prime menstrual period, underweight or overweight, lack of exercises, any STD history, past cancer records, or other factors as written there. If I talk about female infertility, according to Ayurveda, then we have four basic factors as we have already studied: Ritu, Kshetra, Ambu, and Beej. So in Ritu, if the age is beyond the most fertile period, then there might be certain problem in conceiving the baby. Then in Kshetra, the area in which the baby is going to reside, that can have certain problems in the cervical area or in the uterine area or in the tubal area. Sometimes there are congenital or acquired vaginal infections, which can cause torch infections, torch like you have rubella and cytomegalovirus, herpes, etc. If I talk about Ambu, then Ambu means the adequate diet, ahar. Ahar should be in a way which give nutrition to all the seven dhatu. So if that dhatu and the ahar is not adequate, then there might be some problem in the next factor, that is beach. Beach um, refers to the prime egg factor, the ovulation defects, or the PCOD, etc. Apart than that, problems like mental stress and excess of Vayu dosh also cause infertility. And sometimes the lifestyle disorders like diabetes, thyroid, obesity also give some infertility to the women. The medical examinations that you have to go through to check whether everything is fine there. The male examinations are some varicocele infections, pathological tests like CBC, HbA1c, the hormones level, semen analysis is very important, and the scrotal blockages. So that the mark is completely fine, we have to ensure that. In the female physical examination, as you can see, CBC test, TSR test, HbA1c, the hormones test, including thyroid hormones, estrogen, progesterone, testosterones, USG, that is the sonography, pelvis area sonography, and the AMH, that is anti-Mullerian hormone. Anti-Mullerian hormones basically decides as how many eggs she has in her ovaries and whether they are being produced at the right time or not. And similarly, in the semen analysis, it is being checked whether the quantity and the quality as well as the sperm mobility is up to the mark or not. Moving ahead. Ayurveda defines infertility as three types in women. Vandhya is the one which is incurable even after taking medicines or treatments. Apraja is the one in which a female is unable to conceive for the first time in a natural way. She's not able to do that, but it is curable by certain treatments and medicines. Sapraja is the one in which she has already conceived one or more child and then she's unable to carry next child. Some modern ways to reproduce are IUI and IVF, which are the artificial ways. IUI is the one in which the semen is injected in the uterus, and IVF is the one in which the fertilization of the gamete and the fertilization of ovum and sperm is done in the artificial way, and then the gamete is being implanted in the women's ovary. Some yoga and Ayurvedic treatments that I've written here are yoga therapies, then Nidan Parivarjan, that is the genetics, structural, functional defects are being addressed right here. Then the Panchkarma, the cleansing is very important and everyone should go through it before conceiving a baby. Uttar Basti and Nasya are primarily important because they clean the uterus and the HPO axis, uterus is cleaned by Uttarbasti and the HPO axis is put right by Nasya. Rasayana and Vajikaran are primarily in male counterpart of the parent. Rasayana addresses the first dhatu, that is Ras, the plasma, and Vajikaran addresses the last dhatu, that is the sperm. Then some Garbhasthapak medications are given. Apart than that, things like Ashwasan, counseling, that as a yoga teacher or as a Ayurvedic consultant or as a modern doctor, you can do to the couple so that they get in that bent of mind that yes, now we as well as our body from inside is ready to uh, conceive a child. Then Ayurvedic psychotherapy, that is known as Satvajya, that is also very important. Finally, remember the concept of Saumanasya Garbharan. That is, in a healthy way, you have to conceive the baby in your womb. Yoga practices will be further explained by Mehak. Some subtle points that I've added from my understanding is that you have to accept first. For example, just sharing with you that I have completed 5 years of my marriage and I'm yet to conceive because I have PCOS issue. So first you have to accept what you have, and rather than expecting, you have to accept. That is the first stage to find solution. Instead of rushing into things, take time to contemplate over root causes. I mean, I also went through all those modern medications like SCG injections and um, that clomiphene medicines, but there was no benefit to it. But when I decided that no, I will not go through this way, I'll take the Ayurvedic and the Yoga way, then I think things are falling into perspective better. You should have a Sahaj Bhav and a Samarpan Bhav. Sahaj Bhav, by Sahaj Bhav, I mean that you should remain calm in whatever is happening, accept things as they are coming. And Samarpan Bhav, you have to surrender completely to what you are going through. If, let us say, you are taking modern medicines, that you have to trust the doctor completely. Use this time to bond together, practice couple yoga. Yes, of course, we have, me and my husband, we have utilized this time in a great way. We have started pursuing our hobbies that we had given up some time back, and do practice couple yoga and travel together, paint together, play music together, understand each other's limitation and help each other in the treatment of infertility. So when for the first time we went to the doctor, then the test of my husband were very good, and everything was fine. And I knew it beforehand only that the problem will be PCOS itself. But he practices each and every yoga with whether it is Preet Karni, whether it is Bhadrasan with me, because I sometimes I feel that he has an ovaries and those uterus inside him. That way, he also motivates me to practice those yoga. If someday I'm not doing Viprit Karni, then he'll precisely remind me to practice Viprit Karni. You should have doctors visit and yoga practices together. That's very important, and stay around positive people. And I have also spoken to many of my friends who were also going through similar problems, but they were not able to speak about it. And again, they have also been connected to yoga as well as to doctors, because sometimes husband and wife are not talking to each other about it, and they are just keeping to themselves. And if the problem is in men, in fact, what I have realized that most of my friends and male members of their, they are very understanding, but the female, she has so much of guilty inside her, that she's not even telling her husband that I am having this problem or so. So these are certain pictures that I've added. Me and my husband, we are doing Vrikshasan, we are doing Bakasan. We adopted a dog after a year of our marriage, and she gets all that pampering right now. And these two paintings that you are seeing, so this last week I asked my husband that let's paint something. So he decided that he'll paint Bal Krishna and again child Shiva. So I think it really gets in your head, and then positive results will come. Finally, I'll give my gratitude to the whole universe, to Yog, to Nutan ma'am, to Sejal ma'am, who basically recommended me to this course, my parents and my family, and of course my husband. Thank you so much for patiently listening. Thank you, ma'am.